गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Ajnana Khandana in Amrutanubhava, chapter 7, ignorance denied, meaning there is no ignorance whatsoever. Wherever there is truth, wherever there is reality, non-reality cannot exist. That non-reality, another name for it is given as existence. Sorry, not existence, ignorance. And here, here it says, last week we were talking, this is verse number 185, we are going to start today. And here, just to recap what we are talking about, therefore the truth can be known only when the objectification of the subject is dropped. So what is objectification of the subject? Thinking of yourself as I. When you think of yourself as I, you are only the referential I. So that referential I has to be dropped. Meaning, you are all woman, but if you keep thinking of yourself as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a wife, then you are only thinking of yourself as I as a reference. Here, you are forgetting that you are a woman, you are only taking all the roles. Similarly, this I within is continuously taking the role. With reference to the seen, it is called seer. With reference to the hearing, it is called the hearer. With reference to the taste, it is called the taster. With reference to thinking, it is called the thinker. With reference to known, it is called the knower. And this way, continuously, the I is taking some role or the other. And this role is continuously changing. It is never permanent. And what happens when this objectification of the I drops? The real I, which is already there, because you are watching that. Right now I was seeing, now I'm hearing. So you yourself are the witness also. You yourself are the referential one also. You yourself are the woman also. You are yourself also the mother, the daughter, the sister also. Question is, at any given moment, where is your attention? Is it on the one which is coming and going? Or is it on the one which never comes and never goes? And that's what is told here. The pure subject that I is cannot be known, just like the eyes cannot see themselves. Similarly, the I also cannot know itself. When there is no objectification of, firstly, when there is no object for the I to relate to, the I also drops away. If some out of default the thoughts are coming in the mind and eventually you are not influenced by what is coming and going in the mind, then even those triputis also drop away. When the triputis drop away, then what happens? There is silence. So are we talking about that I am seeing nothing? So is nothing an object? No. Is absence an object? No. But no, people speak that way. People talk about, no, I see nothing. When I sit in meditation, there is nothing. There is void. There is absence of everything. When the thought dies away, I'm watching, my mantra drops away, and then there is nothing there. Right? Uh, So we have trained ourselves to think that way, and we are remaining in the loop of nothingness. Actually, it is conscious silence. You are, because of the habit of objectification, looking out. Before you are looking at something, now there is nothing, so you're still looking out. That is the problem. You have to, by coming to satsang, a text like this, you come to realize that when there is no thought in the mind, you are the self. Stop, full stop. Nothing else to be done. But the pseudo subject that is suffering and getting agitated is born every moment with reference to its opposite counterpart, the object. So, subject is born with the object. One should be able to stand apart and watch the subject which is created with a reference to the object. So, what is initial meditation? Initial meditation, or the purpose of yoga, the purpose of dharana, dhyan, samadhi, the purpose of japa is only this, that you are able to catch that with every mantra the I is coming. And with every mantra, Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, you are chanting, Om chant kiya. So with that, who chanted the Om? I chanted the Om. I am chanting. I am the chanter, and Om is the chanted. What is the subject? Om. What is the subject? Object? Ram. What is the subject? I. So catch, with every mantra, the I is appearing, the subject is appearing, the object is appearing and disappearing. Then the next subject and object triad comes up. So here Swamiji is saying one should be able to stand apart and watch the subject which is created with reference to the object. That subject is not a permanent one, it is a temporary one. It is an ephemeral one. Then alone will one go beyond the bondage of subject-object relationship. So until unless you do not come to cognize, come to ascertain within yourself that this I, the chanter, I, the seer, I, the knower, I, the experience, every time any thought comes, it is coming up with reference to the object and going away. Till you don't recognize that the I is going away, that means that I am not. That which is coming and going, how can I be? I don't have any experience of coming and going, which includes the waker with reference to the waking world, dreamer with reference to the dream world. It's just a recognition, realization कि भाई ऐसे हो रहा है. This is what is going on. First step is that. The great masters who were established in this vision were able to love the whole world without reason or logic because they had transcended the relative existence of cause and effect. Ocean the cause, wave the effect. See? So, when does true love express? When does unconditional love express? When we are free from triputis. When we are free from triputi. When we are not the referential I, we accept ourselves as the permanent one, the real one, and there is no acceptance also because you are that. All you have to do is allow, not get affected by that which is coming and going, the thoughts. Then they automatically slow down. And that will lead to a transformed vision. And that transformed vision is all inclusiveness, that the self is one without a second, that self is everything. Both will happen at the same time. This you cannot create. This you cannot work out. But we must work out. That's what we are doing right now. This vision of the absolute about the relative is called spiritual unfoldment or open eye meditation. This state which supports the relativity without getting influenced by the relativity is the reality or the absolute being. That that me, that me who is supporting all relativity. What is relativity? All the thoughts coming and going is relativity, isn't it? That which comes and goes is relativity. But I am not getting affected by relativity, meaning I am not getting affected by any thoughts, concepts, ideas, convictions, imaginations, waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. I'm not affected by anything. My attention is on the unclutched self that I am. This thought is reflected in the Panchadashi, where reference is made to Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti. Relative existence, which is Jiva Srishti, will always be tinged with unhappiness. One can never expect absolute joy from the relative perception. So, what is the last week I told about this? What is the difference between Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti? Jiva is affected, influenced, enslaved by the creation that he has accepted. And Ishvara, even though he is supporting the creation, Ishvara is unaffected, uninfluenced, unenslaved by the creation. His Shakti is his power. Our mind is our problem. This is what individuality is. When individual becomes the witness of the mind, meaning witness of the thoughts, then there is no difference between you and Ishvara. But you have to remain uninfluenced, undisturbed. That's all the difference. And those who have done it, such people are called saints and sages. We say Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Bhagwan Satya Sai Baba. Why? They are undisturbed by what they are supporting. This perception of the relative experience without the consequence of relativity, although functioning through relativity, is called a yoga bhumika. Yoga introduction. This is what I was telling in meditation, that yoga is not pranayam and various asanas. Yoga is that point where you are one with yourself. So where Jiva Srishti concludes and Ishwar Srishti begins is yoga. Or if you want to go from Vedantic point of view, Ishwara Srishti also concludes and Jiva and Ishvara Srishti, because Ishvara is only from point of view of Jiva, it all concludes. But from Kashmiri Shaivism point of view, it is Ishvara Advayavad. So Ishvara is also there, and one without a second principle is also that Paramashiva alone is expressing as Shiva Shakti, and it's you cannot do anything about it. It's going on like that. But what is so who is Ishvara? Ishvara is he who knows that he is one without a second. Why does he know that he is one without a second supreme reality, that he is the Paramashiva? Because he is not influenced, affected by his own Shakti. And we are affected by our own potentiality, Shakti, which is our mind. Change the equation with this understanding and realize. This self-realization is not in terms of I am realized, not others, but of I alone is the reality, and if I am realized, there is none in my eyes who is not realized. Now see, there is none from water's point of view. If we have to speak from water's point of view, every wave is realized, because every wave is water only, isn't it? But from wave's point of view, where is its attention? Not on water. Its attention is on its form. So therefore it feels I'm not realized, I need to get realized. I have to do sadhana. But actually it is already realized. That is our case also. This theme of Yoga Bhumika introduction to the union with the Lord is initiated in OV 185, next verse, and is the theme of the next 17 OVs, meaning 17 verses. These are methods of meditation. Each OV deserves to be taken in the same spirit and depth of contemplation in which Jnaneshwar Maharaja expounded it. So today's meditation was on the 185th verse. That's what we did. So we are, okay, so even though you meditate on it today, but we'll go into more details here. दृष्टा दृश्यांची आग्रासी मध्ये उल्लेख विकासी योग भूमिका ऐसी अंगी वाजे. When the drashta seer has swallowed the drishya scene, the experience is over. Between the successive experience is the self revealed. This is called yoga bhumika, where the self shines forth. What does swallowed mean? One way of swallowed is when you put ahuti in the havan, the fire swallows the ahuti, isn't it? Correct? In one of the Upanishads, did we not see that all your senses are havan kundas? This is the havan kunda, nostrils, where the ahuti of smell is being offered. Ears are the havan kunda, where the ahuti of sound is being offered. Eyes are the havan kunda, where the ahuti of color and form is being offered. So like this, all our senses organs are the havan kundas. And what can we say? That fire, that self, that life, which is, or that mind which is expressing through these five senses, is swallowing the objects that are, or the stimuli or the ahutis that are coming. So same way, that is being told here. And then it is said, between the successive experience is the self revealed. When the seer swallows the scene, when the hearer swallows the heard, experience swallows the experienced, that thought is over. When I put the food in my mouth, I was hungry, and that desire made me go and get the food. So I pick up the food and I put it in my mouth. That very moment, hunger is over, because I have become one with the food. In other words, the taste, or even if it is just for the taste sake, which is chocolate, I'm not hungry also for it. But I take, because I have not tasted chocolate for a long time. I have not tasted chocolate for a long time. The tongue is wanting it. And the moment chocolate comes on the tongue, meaning the taster has swallowed the tasted chocolate, and the desire for the chocolate is over from that very moment. That means the triputi is over, isn't it? And this is going on every moment. The seer has eaten the scene and one experience is over. When one gets established in the junction between the two experiences, madhya, one attains union with one's own essential nature. Now tell me, is this madhya or is this middle? Where is the middle? Between every two thoughts. Where is the middle? Between every two breaths. Where is the middle? Everything, every sequence has a middle, isn't it? Whether it's a conviction, whether it is, there is a middle between waking and dream, there is a middle between dream and sleep, there is a middle between sleep and waking, isn't it? Everywhere there is a middle. Because thought is incomplete. Thought is appearing and disappearing. Triputi is appearing and disappearing. So there has to be a middle. Ullekha means when it is realized, when it is observed, but in that madhya, in that silence, in that and what is that silence? Where there is no subject-object duality, both have vanished, and that is the point. And that point is nothing but a state of realization. So how many times are you getting realized? Millions of times in a day. After every thought. Because between two thoughts there is silence and you are realized. But you don't recognize it. The knowledge of any object does not take place in the object nor in the concerned sense organ. What do you think? Meaning that this is a table. The knowledge of the table does not take place in the table. I see the table. The eyes are seeing. The knowledge of the table, is it taking place in the eyes? No. So neither the knowledge of the table is taking place in the table, nor the knowledge of the table is taking place in the eyes. Then what is happening here? This is just a mirror where this is getting reflected. That's all. That's all. This is also inert. This is also inert. It's just a mechanical instrument doing its job of seeing. This is an instrument which is doing the job of hearing. It does not know that it is hearing. Ears do not have a personality. It's the mind which is. So where does all the data go of the ear hearing the objective sound? It goes to the mind. So here the next point is told that the knowledge that this is a flower does not happen either in the flower or in the eyes. Clear this example?
Yes.
It happens in the instrument of knowledge called the mind. So what is instrument of knowledge? Mind. So can it happen in the instrument of perception? Not possible. Perceptive organs are only mirrors reflecting what is coming in front. That's all. But who owns them, who interacts with them, it is the mind. The thought does not come in the object. The thought does not come in the instrument. The thought comes in the mind. And the thought comes because that object called the table, which was reflecting in the instrument called eyes, that object, the image was there. Whether it is an image of this or image of the sound or image of the smell or whatever, then subject owns that. Subject interacts with that object and a thought is created. Where? Not in the table, not in the senses, in the mind. And that is what is told here. And this is it happens in the instrument of knowledge called the mind, and in two stages called, this comes in very much detail in Panchadashi, Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti. The first stage is that where the mind flows out as it were through the eyes and takes the shape of the flower. This is a flower. And the second, where the object is known by one as the object of knowledge and becomes the knower. I know this is a flower. So how do wise people live? You cannot stop vritti vyapti. You cannot stop the mind going out of the senses and taking the form. Each one of you is a form. Table is a form. Laptop is a form. Phone is a form. Isn't it? Can I stop that? No. But what can I stop? Phala Vyapti I can stop. that I do not allow that interaction of the mind flowing out into precipitation of I know this is a flower. So, what is happening here? If I say I know this is a flower, the knower, the subject, known the object, creates a thought in the mind. If there is no phala vyapti allowed, if the knower is not allowed to interact with the known, then what is happening?
Peace.
Peace, correct, peace. Then objects are coming and going, but there is no owner. There is no owner. Then only witnessing is going on. See? So, what is vritti vyapti? Vritti vyapti is mind going out of the senses and interacting with the object uh, and taking the shape of the flower, for example. And the second, phala vyapti, is where the object is known by one as the object of knowledge and becomes the knower. So everything in our life we are only going through vritti vyapti, means phala vyapti. Phala vyapti means result. Phala, the result has concretized. My seeing has concretized into a knowledge that this is Suruj, this is Atmanishta, this is both, this is stable. So this is, I'm coming to a conclusion. Conclusion means phala. Conclusion means phala. Vyapti means precipitation, if you want to say. Precipitation of a result. Precipitation of a thought. Now, imagine that your mind goes out of your senses, takes the form of the object, that is how it is functioning. You cannot stop that, but you don't become the knower of that object. You don't become the seer of the seen. You don't become the knower of the known. You don't become the hearer. You don't allow the hearer to precipitate. You don't become the subject with reference to the object. When will this be possible? When you do not take a position with reference to the object. Then what position can you take? You take the position of witness. Good. You take the position of witness. Right now also same thing is happening to you. There is vritti vyapti as regards the words that are coming to you right now. Correct? You are understanding, you are saying yes, everything. You are seeing that Swamiji is sitting. All this is vritti vyapti. But as regards everything else in the room, there is no vritti vyapti. There is no phala vyapti. There is no phala, only vritti. You know they are there, but there is no knower being born. There is no person getting identified with what is there, because your focus is here. But here, phala vyapti is happening, knowledge is taking place. With regards to other things, that there is, it's a cloudy day outside, it is, or whatever. I am using the words cloudy day outside, there are trees outside. But the moment I have said it, phala vyapti has taken place. But when you are there, it's almost like a blankness. Everything is there, yet no registration, nothing is getting registered. That is witnessing. In this way, the dichotomy of seer seen is created. The technique of yoga bhumika is coming to one's own source. That is yoga bhumika. Introduction to yoga or meditation or yoga or self-realization is coming to one's own essence, coming to one's own source, coming to the one who does not come and go. You are coming and going as a seer comes and goes, hearer comes and goes, toucher comes and goes, smeller comes and goes, taster comes and goes, thinker comes and goes, knower comes and goes, waker comes and goes, dreamer comes and goes. Who knows all this? That fellow does not come and go. Now find out which one is that. The moment you get to that point, you are in yoga. That is the true samadhi. That is the true samadhi. And then that doesn't stop. It continues. एक बार click होना है बस. Only once you have to click. Having seen that, so what is the process? What is the technique? Here the technique Swamiji is giving. Having seen the object, the attention is on the object. This is normally going on for us. Then now the mind is lifted from the object and brought to the level of the thought. So this was the meditation that we did today. So normally here, what is it? I am looking at you people, or I'm looking at the laptop. I'm looking at the words while I'm reading. Then what is, you have to shift your mind. Mind is lifted from the object and brought to the level of thought. So are the words on the laptop real? Is that knowledge? Then if that is knowledge, then you know what people do. They pray to the books but never read the books. You see, oh, book should not be Saraswati, it should not be touched with their feet. But they pray, they do the arti of the books, they do the puja of the Ramayana or Mahabharata or Vedas. Every Saraswati puja, every year Saraswati puja is there. You do the, kiski puja hoti hai? You do the books, you do the instruments, you do the tools, everything, whatever is used as instrument, you do the puja. But if you never use the tools, what's the point? So here, having seen the object, the attention is on the object. Now the mind is lifted from the object and brought to the level of the thought. So where is the knowledge taking place? In the mind. Knowledge can only take place in the mind because that's the instrument of knowledge. Eyes are not the instrument of knowledge. What are eyes? Instrument of perception. And what is this table? Can the table come to know itself? Can knowledge of the table by the table be possible? No. So again, I repeat, as I said in meditation, the table does not know that it is the table. The eyes do not know that it is the table. Only the knowledge takes place in the mind. At the level of the thought. As a thought. The table is a thought in our mind. And with the eyes closed and the body still, one becomes the owner of the thought of the object. That means the union, the knowledge has taken place in the mind. The next step is when one does not get influenced by that thought. So first I got influenced. Therefore, what happened when I got influenced by the object? What is the word? Phala vyapti takes place. Yeah. These are technical words. If you understand, it's better. Precipitation of thought is called as phala vyapti. Knowledge of the object, that I know this object, is phala vyapti. So, when one does not get influenced by the thought, that is, one does not, with the eyes closed and the body still, one becomes the owner of the thought of the object. That means, I know this is a table. I know this is a flower. I know this is a person. I know it is daytime now. I know I am awake. This is all precipitation of a thought, and I have taken the ownership of the objective experience of each one of them. The next step is when one does not get influenced by that thought. So if I get influenced by the this is a laptop, this is the Amrutanubhava text in the laptop, and you say, Swamiji, oh, you allowed vritti phala vyapti to take place. Let's try vritti vyapti. Take the laptop away. What will I speak? I'll be immediately self-realized. So I know there is a laptop. I know there is a Amrutanubhava text in the laptop, but it is not becoming a thought in my mind because it's not there in front of me.
Swamiji, what's the role of the intellect then?
Decisive mind is called intellect.
Okay.
Indecisive intellect is called mind.
Okay.
So just like a woman is expressing as mother and daughter, similarly, mind has when it is decisive, it is called intellect. When it is fickle, it is called mind. Understand?
I thought mind just has thoughts that comes and goes, and intellect decides.
Yeah. There are different ways. There are different ways to address the mind. I'm answering your question. Another place we say mind is flow of thoughts.
Yeah.
But then at other times I have said mind is nothing but consciousness. So if in consciousness thoughts are coming, then thoughts are also nothing but consciousness. So that consciousness itself is as if dichomatizing, meaning becoming two, as subject, I, and object, the whatever the reference is. So everything from when you take this example, last one, then everything is pure consciousness, and that is the truth. But we don't see it like that. We want, by this contemplation, by this particular meditation and contemplation, we want to come to a point where we have a homogeneous, experienceless experience of a reality, one without a second. And as long as thoughts are there, phala vyapti is there, this is not going to be possible. Phala vyapti necessarily brings about the appearance of subject and object. And where there is subject and object, individuality precipitates. If individuality is there, it is a referential existence with reference to the body, reference to the thoughts, reference, because body is also a thought. So we are trying to get away from a referential existence to existence as it is, not referential existence. And that is possible if we recognize that between the two thoughts we are still there. That if between the two thoughts there is no emptiness, there is not nothingness. We are still there. So what is there? There is nothing to refer to with. It's happening between every two thoughts, isn't it? There is no reference and you still are existing. That is the reality. So it's so close. But because of our obsession with references, with objects, we make it go far away from us. And then we suffer wanting to realize, I have to realize, I have to realize, I have to realize. But it is scripture, Veda, Upanishad say, Kara amlavat. It is like a gooseberry in your hand. After every thought is available. Why? In and through every thought it is available. But you have to have the eye to see it. When Arjuna was given the vision of Vishwarup Darshan, does Krishna not know what Vishwarup Darshan is? He knows. Vishwarup is this whole thing going on. But then why Arjuna was not able to see it, or why we are not able to see it? Because we have not developed that, opened that third eye. What is third eye? Where left eye and the right eye merge. What is left eye and the right eye? Duality. Right versus left, left versus right, isn't it? when both of them amalgamate into one, synchronize into one, then the third eye opens up. Exactly the same thing we are doing, where the duality of subject and object merges into each other. Here the word used was swallow. It's just a different, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is using a language which people can understand. That's all. He's not using technical language. Technical language is vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. He is using the word swallow. The next step is when one does not get influenced by that thought, that is, one does not want to pluck that flower. So you see a flower, I love this flower. Pluck. भगवान के सामने. Or see you, Hari Om. Have a good day. So we don't pluck that flower, or we have a very deep meditation. We don't make it into a memory. Memory means phala vyapti, है ना? We look at something in the shop. You look at it and move on, man. Vritti vyapti. Phala vyapti, you look at it and you can't stop yourself from getting into the shop and buying it. Phala vyapti. Same thing happens with our emotions also. Someone passes away, it is an event. Is it not happening everywhere? It is happening. Other people die, you are not affected. Your person dies, you get affected. Phala vyapti is taking place. Why? You have invested in the one who is near and dear. Arjuna's problem in first chapter was this one. Why the crisis came? Because he was identified with his cousins, with his uncles, with his teachers, with his grandfather. Vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. Then what happened afterwards? That delusion, that identification, have they stopped being his cousins and his grandfather and his teacher? No. But now they are not, that emotion is not allowed to come up. That identification is not allowed to come up. Why? His attention is on something greater. And what is that greater? Dharma. What is your dharma? To be the essence. To be the essence. To be the witness is your dharma. And you forget that dharma and you get into phala vyapti and then live a referential life and suffer. It's that simple. Simple. But it is that simple. If you understand it, and it will, Jnaneshwar Maharaj has repeated it so many times in different ways. Hopefully, it clicks somewhere along the way. Then after some time, that thought dies away. Every thought which appears in your mind has to die. It cannot stay there permanently. This is your experience, isn't it? You know it. Thus, the object is comprehended by the mind. The mind is so the object is comprehended by the mind, meaning the thought of the flower is appearing in the mind. That thought is comprehended by me. That this up thought came, the seer seen came and went away. Then hearer heard, hearing happened, then it went away. The waker, waking world, waking experience happened, it went away. Dreamer, dream world, dream experience happened, it went away. Like this. Who knows this? Is it someone else outside you? Or you only know it? That Triputi is coming and going, isn't it? You only know it. There's no other person. The moment you come to this realization that, Arey, I only know it, that means I'm not the waker. That means I'm not the dreamer. The subject waker, the subject dreamer, similarly bring it closer. I am not the seer, I am not the hearer, I am not the smeller, I am not the taster, I am not the knower, I am not the experiencer. Suddenly you come catch this. But for that you have to stop cooking in meditation. You have to be totally silent. Then it has to click. When we are ready to be still and when we are ready to be alert, in Japanese they call it satori. In Europe they call it eureka. It's a click. It's a happening. But we have to be available to it. Thus, the object is comprehended by the mind. The mind is comprehended by me, the absolute witness. And what is the difference between the mind and the witness? In the mind, the picture of the object is coming, and the subject is born. It is naturally going on. If I give attention to that picture, whether it is seen, heard, whatever, and who is the witness? Witness is he who is not giving importance to any object that is coming in the mind. See, thus the object is comprehended by the mind. The mind is comprehended by me, the absolute witness. Thus one moves inwards from object to subject, but the subject is of two kinds. First one is the normal experience who becomes happy and miserable. Who is the one who becomes happy and miserable? The relative I, not the absolute I, relative I. Who is this relative I? The one who is having a relationship with various objects. That one is the relative I. He is the one who suffers. He is the one who feels happy. Who is the one who goes into depression. He is the one who is wanting to realize. He is the relative I. He is the subject. And the other is the one who experiences but does not get influenced by it. Huh? So this is the penultimate situation before you get to witness. What is that? Sometimes certain thoughts appear and you become affected by those thoughts. At the same time, while you are living your day, there are many thoughts which come by which you are not getting affected. So you know that this is a glass of water lying there. It's not affecting your life. There's no emotion about it. Why only Swamiji is getting a glass of water? Why I'm not getting a glass of water? Why she gave only to Swamiji, that too covered, and we can't even look at it. I am also feeling thirsty. Only Swamiji feels thirsty or what? You can go into that spiel. When it goes uncontrollable, then depression comes. You lose the plot of life when that goes over. But what was your experience right now? That glass is there, this paper is there, this camera stand is there. You are experiencing it, but you are not influenced by it. The only thing that is influencing you right now is the words that are coming to you. Correct? So you know how to not be influenced. You have to practice that even more. You have to practice. This is in the outside world. You have to do it in the inside world also. You have to, again and again. This should be our game throughout our life. What is that? That whatever thoughts are coming, I am not influenced by it. And for that, another way people bring that about is through japa. That when you are in love with one word, one Lord, or name, or Om, or whatever, to that extent, more your intensity and involvement in that japa, to that extent you are untouched, unaffected, uninfluenced by anything else. Isn't it? Same thing happens at night. You are totally involved and thinking of sleep. Nothing in the world disturbs you. It just drops away. Even with your eyes open, it drops away. You're not interested in anything. Exactly the same thing happens. And this can happen while this is how masters move in this world. They are unaffected, uninfluenced by anything that is going on. Why? They are totally with themselves. They have recognized that this is ephemeral. Ephemeral means that which comes and goes. Every thought comes and goes. So are they seeing the world? Yes. Are they getting influenced by the world? No. Are you seeing this room? Yes. Are you getting affected by the room? No. Like that. How do you know you are not getting affected? If that thought is not grabbing you, or meaning other way, that you are not getting identified with the object, then you are not affected by that object. Then you are not influenced by that object. Then you are not desiring that object. Because what is the rule? Dhyayato vishayan pumsan sangaste shupajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. So if the subject identifies with some object, then the desire for that object will appear. There's no other way. If enough times, it 2-3 times it keeps thinking of that object or relates to that object, he will have a desire. Why? Because if you interact more than one time with the object, the subject interacts with the object more than one time, memory is created. And that memory then appears as a object, also as a desire. And we get lost. See? This state is called the witnesshood or sakshi bhava. This was the second. The first one was the normal experiencer who becomes happy and miserable on account of the objects. The second one was the one who experiences but does not get influenced by the objects. This state is called as witnesshood. Start in the world. Slowly, slowly it will go into your mind also. For everything in life, we don't have to react, good or bad or ugly. You don't have to pass a comment. You don't have to give an opinion. Because the moment you open your mouth or you have a thought about it, you have already passed a comment. You may not say it, but in your mind you have passed a comment. Once this point has been reached, the witness ceases to be interested in the thoughts. So when we are totally focused, for example, we are to Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, as we get involved in that mantra more and more and more, to that extent, all other thoughts of the world lose their potency, isn't it? As you get involved in the thought of sleep, all the thoughts of the world lose their potency. They automatically leave you and go away. Where they go away, we don't worry about it. But they go away, isn't it? For you to be swallowed by sleep. The devotee who is doing the japa of Ram, when that person is totally involved in the Sri Ram mantra, the world leaves for your mind to be swallowed by Ram. कल के अध्यात्म रामायण फिर you become Ramamaya. Jatayu became Ramamaya. He got the form of the Ram. And he did the Jatayu Stuti yesterday. This is what happens. This can happen to you also. But we have to, the intensity has to be there. Involvement with the higher has to be there. Once this point has been reached, the witness ceases to be interested in the thoughts. There is nothing to witness outside itself. So it is as if the Sakshi is focusing its attention on its own essential nature. When all objective thoughts cease to exist, when all objective thoughts cease to exist, why do they exist? Because you give value to the object, then the thought exists, isn't it? If you are withdrawing, if you are seeing the ephemerality of it, temporariness of it, then you are not interested in it. I am the witness. I'm watching that the thoughts are coming and going. Then that the thought gets momentum only when you get identified with it. If you are not getting identified with it, that thought also after some time collapses. Where it collapses, the moment this happens, that means the thought collapses. If thought collapses, what is taking place? Subject and object is also collapsing. है ना? The dichotomy, that means the duality, consciousness expressing, manifesting as subject and object, that also dies away. And there, in its place, the moment these two die away, then what is remaining there? Only the pure consciousness, only the absolute I. In other words, I can only use these words to communicate. Witnessing I without anything to witness. Then why are you calling it witness if there is nothing to witness? So that we can communicate. See, मजा है फिर. Only the absolute subject without a trace of objectivity is left. So when we go into the depths of this inquiry, after some time, see, initially the object may be table, flower, you, laptop, phone. Afterwards, the object can be the I also. I thought, who am I? It's an objective search. Are you foolish to ask this question or what? But you have become so refined in your thinking that you are realizing, I am, I am, I am. This mantra is going on. Because now there is nothing else. I am, I am. It has to click that I am objectifying myself, and then I am is appearing in the mind. That also has to die away. So that for that you have to recognize that I am not there because I am thinking. I am there in spite of thinking. This realization has to happen. This understanding has to come about. Then it will take you to the next step. No objectivity is left, that I am. Thus the flower was eaten by the eyes by the mind by the witness, and finally the witness disappears. It ceases to be a witness because there is nothing to witness other than I. That means I is self-illumined. Subject is illuminating the object, then getting identified. See? So this is called as Laya Prakriya. Laya Prakriya, another Laya Prakriya, what you have heard, experienced or heard or maybe practiced, I don't know. The earth element dissolves into the water element dissolves into the fire element, fire into the air into the space, gross space into the mental space into the conscious space. This is called Laya Prakriya. Step by step, you are taking it back. Here also, these are all just observations that are going on. Masters, saints, sages, they have just observed it in their meditation and they have put it out. Here Jnaneshwar Maharaj has put it out. What is that? The eyes are swallowing the flower object. The mind is for swallowing the eyes, the senses. Then the third one is the mind is swallowed by the witness. And the witness, because there is nothing for it to swallow anymore, it cannot exist anymore. Witness is also with reference to witnessed. Witness is with reference to witnessed. But the connotation of the word witness is that it is not influenced by what it is witnessing. And that particular point brings about the collapse of all the thoughts in the witnessing. Then what will be there? Only the self will be there. Only the pure consciousness will be there. From this point, it can be appreciated how the world is created. It begins from I, the central point of a circle, governs the circumference of the circle, but is not influenced by it. So, what is this I? It is the center with many circumferences. So if this is the center I can make a small round there. I can make a next bigger round. I can make bigger round. And if I keep expanding it, it can go infinite. At least you can appreciate that I can't draw a circle, but if there is a center, there is a circumference. So I is the center with infinite number of circumferences. But from the center point of view, there is no circumference. So what is your circumference? Husband is one circumference, children are another circumference, grandchildren are another circumference, employer and employees are another circumference, friends and relatives are another circumference. I am India or Nepali is one circumference, I am in Australia is another circumference. But where is all this that I just talked about? What is the center of all that? You. The I is the center, isn't it? So is your attention on the circumference or is your attention on the center? That is what it matters. So here he says that when where are we? In the same way, the world of names and forms is supported by the central point I. So don't come to this conclusion that the world of names and forms is existing in the creation. No, the whole bloody creation is existing in you, in your mind. And that a mind is held by the I initial understanding. When you become witness, then you realize, acha, really tha. It manifests and then it unmanifests. It manifests and it unmanifests. Manifestation is waking and dream. Unmanifestation is deep sleep. But then where is all this happening from? From the true me, the true I, the absolute I. Furthermore, when the center is such that it is not limited by a circumference, then the center is everywhere. So what was the circumference? I am a body is the circumference. Senses are a circumference. Thought is a circumference, isn't it? Subject with reference to object, that object is the circumference. I am in Australian space. Australian space is the circumference. This is my house. I am the owner of this house. Walls are the circumference. If we remove all circumferences, meaning we remove all references, then what will happen to the I? What will happen to the center? Then the center is everywhere. This is Vishwarup Darshan. This is Vishwarup Darshan. when there is nothing for the I to interact with, then consciousness alone remains. And what is the nature of consciousness? One without a second. It's just put in the Vedic language or Upanishadic language that center without a circumference leads to center everywhere. Space with reference to walls, this is my house. Space with reference to this body, this is my body. Isn't it? But space without any reference, space is everywhere. But when your attention is on the wall, this is my house, my space. Nowadays kids talk like that. My space. But no reference. Space is everywhere. Conscious space is the center. Center is everywhere. So play this game with yourself all the time. Continuously moving through the world, doing whatever life is presenting. Don't forget you are the center. Don't take anything too seriously. Seriously means you have become caught up by the object, caught up by the emotion, caught up by the conviction, caught up by the memory, caught up by imagination. We must have the magnanimity and the courage to give up all that and be who we actually are. Furthermore, when the center is such that it is not limited by a circumference, then the center is everywhere. The center expressing as circles such as speaker, as listeners, etc. So when we say that one reality alone has become the teacher and the same reality has become the students, the same water has become one way, all the waves and is playing with each other. That same water has on one side become the ocean and the cause, and another side it has become the effect called the waves. And the game of ocean and wave is going on. Ocean the teacher, waves the students. Ocean the God, waves the devotees. So that when we say center expressing everywhere, this is what it means. Eyes are seeing the differences. I am teaching you, but from absolute standpoint, everything is going on, yet nothing is going on. This is all the vibhuti then. And each speaker, listener, etc. And each center ceases to be the speaker and listener once that function is over. So once this class is over, then where's the teacher? Where's the listener? Speaker, or where's the listener? No. Once you graduate, where's the teacher and where's the student? No. Once you resign from the job, where's the employer and the employee and the employer? No more. That is only up till there. Is it that you are going to be permanently for entire life going to be the worker? No. That is not your experience, isn't it? Once that interaction is over, that function is over, it gets over. But the life expressing at every center is one without a second. So the life which is expressing through the speaker, the life which is expressing through the listener is one and the same. Then what is this two? The name and form is different. That's all. Name and form is different. Object is different, but the essence of the object is the same. This table and that table seems to be different, but is the same wood. Where is your attention? Not on the wood. Your attention is on the form. Form. All ornaments are nothing but gold. But where is your attention? On the form. Form is, the moment it comes to form, it is object. Choice is you get identified with the object or you remain a witness of the object. But the life expressing at every center is one without a second. When the attention is on the principle that one is, that I am, one will be able to function through the relative equipment, yet never bound by that relativity. And this is how the masters live. This is how freedom fighters live. This is how freedom fighters were doing it for the country. But this is how the masters live. Bulle Shah was there. He used to sing the glory of the Lord. He was Muslim. He was singing the glory of Allah. But Aurangzeb did not believe in music. He caught him. Bulle Shah, गाना गाता है, म्यूजिक ही करता है. Caught him, took him. His soldiers took him to the world. Aurangzeb said, stop singing. He says, I will not. He tortured him to death, cut part by part by part. But he was so in tune with the divine that body comes, body goes, it did not matter to him. It did not matter to him. And for us, little bit food, little bit thirst, little bit troubles here and there from the in our life, we get totally affected. We have to make ourselves as in English they say, the rock of Gibraltar, unshaken like the Himalayas. Undisturbed by anything. Is the tree disturbed by who comes and goes, who sleeps under it, and not, if the animals come or the human beings come or the ferocious animals come, if the murderer comes, if the thief comes, is the tree affected? Is the tree affected by the various birds that are sitting on its branches? No. Is the tree affected because all the dry leaves are getting blown away? No. Is the tree affected by all the fruits I created and everyone else is eating and I'm not getting anything to eat? Is it affected? It's unaffected. A river is also not unaffected. So many people dirty it. Ganga ji mein पैर धोते हैं, नहाते हैं, wash their clothes, put all the garbage into the river. But Ganga ji, you take water today also, anywhere, it is still pristine, uncontaminated. Can we be like that, moving through life like Ganga ji and remain uncontaminated? The trick is, be the witness. Build up that knack of being the witness in every moment. When the attention is on the principle that I am, one will be able to function through the relative equipment. What is the equipment? Then attention is not on the word. Attention is not on the equipment also. The equipment life is expressing where there is a body and mind, isn't it? If there is no body and mind, life cannot express. This is the equipment. So life is expressing through the equipment, but not identified with the equipment. For this, you have to keep experimenting with yourself. You have to keep experimenting. Don't drink water for one day. See what happens. Just today's example. My tummy is growling. See what will happen if you don't eat, if the growling continues for the whole day. Experiment. Only you can find out. Oh, going up the Dandenongs is so hard. I'm challenging myself tomorrow or day after tomorrow. 2 times I'm to go up. 2 times. Experiment. क्या होगा maximum? I will not go to Kailash, so be it. Nothing to fear, man. Experiment and come to that realization that if it whatever has come, it will go away. I am not that. Hunger is not me. Thirst is not me. Joys and sorrow is not me. Attachment and detachment is not me. Knowledge or no knowledge is not me. I am as I am. I am ever the pristine, untouched, self-effulgent, self-knowing, without a thought, that is. That I am. But we live in defaults. That's why satsang is required. Every time we find new ways of thinking, approaching the same truth. And we challenge. Like today I'm telling, look at it this way. What he's saying, make that into your daily challenge. Okay, I'm going to keep myself empty. I'm not going to be the referential one. What does it mean? Keep thinking, keep thinking. I guarantee if you keep thinking about it 24/7, within 3 days it will click. But 24/7, you be at it. Anything comes, side pe ho ja. This is important. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. कैसे नहीं क्लिक होगा?
The mind comes and bothers.
Because we give it value. Again, same. Because we give value to that thought. Mind is not something. It's the thoughts there. So we are giving value to the object that is appearing in the mind. And thus get distracted, affected. So again, repeating, when the attention is on the principle, the essence, the witnessing consciousness, that I am, here it is written, one is in general, that I am, one will be able to function through the relative equipment. What is relative equipment? Again, that which comes and goes, that which keeps changing, body is going on changing, senses are continuously changing, thoughts are continuously changing, waking dream deep sleep is continuously changing, isn't it? Convictions are continuous. So all this is part of the equipment. All the panchakoshas are the equipment. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar are the equipment. They are also changing. Yet we are not bound by that which is changing. Thus, the seen, the flower, I have seen, I know the flower, that is the known. The flower is seen, this also I know, knowledge. Thirdly, I know that this is a flower, that also I know, the knower. In this way, the knower known knowledge, in other words, seer seen seeing, hearer heard hearing, experiencer experienced experiencing. All these 3 parts of the Triputi, that which goes to make a Triputi, is known by someone. That I am. That I am. In this way, the object of the knowledge, knowledge of the object, and the knower of the object of knowledge, all 3 are illumined by me. The subject is also illumined by me, the object is also illumined by me, the instrument of knowledge is also illumined by me. I am seeing you all. You all are the object, I know. The thought that I am seeing you, the seer, at this moment was the seer who was seeing you all. That seer also I know. Because after I made that statement, the seer went away. And the instrument of knowledge, the eyes, that also I know. All of them. The knowledge taking place in the mind also I know. So in this way, everything, all the Triputis are illumined by me. Even when all the 3 are not there, I continue to be and know their absence. So right now, are you aware, or do you have the knowledge that right now is waking?
Yes.
Do you know that this waking is an interaction between waking experience, and the waking world? Yes. Do you know that dreamer, dream world, and dream experience is not taking place? Yes. So, absence of dreamer, dream world, and dream experience is not there. So, you are aware of it. Similar, this is at a larger scale. Microscopic, one Triputi, second Triputi. In between, no Triputi. This also you are aware. This I is beyond the trio, beyond the drashtadrishya bheda. This is called a yoga bhumika. Being that I which is unaffected by the Triputi, which is unaffected by the witnessed, is the yoga. That is where the union happens. That is where the click happens. It is a clickless click, but we have to say, because we are going through an explanation, we have to say something. Applying this to daily life, it follows that being sympathetic to any experience is falling to the level of relative existence. Sympathetic, giving value to any experience, giving value to any object, giving value to I also, is falling into a relative. Now watch, what have we done? We have given more than required importance to the waker I. So waker I is important. Waking relationships are important because waker I is important. Waking body is important. See how we have tricked ourselves. But when one is unsympathetic to one's own experience as much as to the experience of others, then one is at the absolute standpoint. What do you mean by unsympathetic or sympathetic? एक तो हो गया वैल्यू देना, इंपॉर्टेंस देना. दूसरा interested, giving it validity, that it is real, that object is real, giving validity that this waking experience is real. Dream experience is imaginary. Deep sleep, क्या पता है क्या होता है. But waking, no, this is very important. Everyone in the waking also very important. And when you are invested in the waking in this manner, yes, it is naturally happening, no doubt about it, because sadhana can be done in the waking only. No doubt about it. But now that where we are in this text, in this understanding, don't give it over undue importance. In the back of our mind, the experience, the importance to this waking world is equal to the importance given to the dream world. Move around like that. Move around like that. And be ready to face the consequence. क्योंकि सब तो यही ड्रामा ही है. फिर where's the question of survival? Where's the question of my house, my bills? This he will take care. Everything will sort out. What needs to, it is getting sorted out anyway. Question is how क्या word है उसका? How expeditiously you want it to happen. How quickly you want it to happen. You can continue slowly, lifetimes after lifetimes. ठीक है यार, धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा. Enjoy करो life. पर अगर hunger है, भूख है, I want to sort it out, man. I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to live as a referential person anymore. My son, my mother, my sister, my ashram. Huh? This is why Parents give you one name. When you go to the ashram, they give you another name, so you disidentify with the parents' name. And then when sannyas, again the name is changed or something added to it, so that the interim stage of brahmacharya or brahmachari, that name also, identification with that name also has to be dropped. Then what happens when you come to this point? When you take sannyas, then all names are your names. Someone says, "Hey, kutte," "Hey, Billy," meow. "Hey, idiot," "Hurry, how did you know?" Then all names are your names. Why? Sannyas means samyak nyas. You are in the center. Samyak means you are equanimous, undisturbed by this or that, undisturbed by objectivity, undisturbed by subject object, undisturbed by any thought that is coming and going. Meaning you are being in the center as the center. But as one is as unsympathetic to one's own experience as much as to the experience of others, then one is at the absolute standpoint. So don't take other people's, your problems to be important. Don't take other people's problems to be important. Listen from here, take it out from there. Don't talk about your problems to anyone. Meaning, then you have given importance to your problems as the object of knowledge. No complaints. No beating your own trumpet. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. No beating your trumpet. Because then whatever successes you have had in your life, then they become the object of contemplation, to identify with. Then you're creating a memory of that and you keep repeating, and then you, same thing we do with meditation, same thing we do with understanding, and we just lose the plot in that. The experience is not to be given undue importance because he suffers and enjoys only with reference to the experienced. So, whenever you identify with something, whether it is memory, whether it is this body, whether it is body, breath, mind, intellect, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, wherever there is an object as a reference, whether it is a thought, whether it is emotion, whether it is a conviction, you are bound to suffer. Because the doctor swears this is the latest tablet. After 10 years, it becomes obsolete. See? Nothing is absolute in this world other than the pure consciousness. Everything. So our name of the game is not to associate, identify with any object. कोशिश करो और खुश रहो बिना किसी रीजन के. That's the goal. That's the ultimate. This is the first meditation. है ना मजेदार? सुनते सुनते ही कितना आनंद आ जाता है. बस उतना ही होना चाहिए और उस आनंद में ही क्लिक हो जाए. It will get clicked. In this way, this principle of the seer seen difference and substratum is explained through examples which in themselves constitute contemplative exercises. Now we'll look at this in our next class. Today is enough.
There will not be next class, or from there we will come back.
We'll see if some satsang is going on, then satsang will be there. हाँ, मॉर्निंग का तो कर सकते हैं. मॉर्निंग वी कैन डू. We'll continue it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.